Yay! So happy Friday and welcome to the
You?
Aligned Healing Call. I'm so
Mhm.
thankful that you're here. And it's special because you and I are in a masterclass and you weren't with us yesterday and you're here. So you're here today. So it's divine timing for sure.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So with this week's Aligned Healing, actually, there was something 2 weeks ago on directed energy, our mastermind call, a masterclass. Um, we did the buzzing bee breathing to bring vibration down into our throat. And then we pulled it down into our thymus gland yesterday. So that will be a good recording for you to
Oh,
catch.
cool. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And um, it is really important for us as healers, as intuitives, as multi creatives, to start to pull energy down into different parts of our body. So we'll be doing that today. So just taking a minute and just lightly tapping the thymus area. And this is right between, like pretty much right underneath your clavicle or collarbone, right underneath it, definitely between your clavicle and your heart chakra, is this little butterfly shaped gland, and that is your thymus. And it usually gets kind of calcified, just kind of like a pineal gland, right? And if we don't use it, it will kind of just go into hibernation. So we want to wake it up a little bit, waking it up. And I often talk about, and I shared the PDF of the book. Donna, I hope you don't mind. Donna Eden's book, Energy Medicine. And she talks about a thymus thump in her book, Energy Medicine. And um, it's really beneficial for boosting your immune system.
Mm.
So this can be sort of a launching off point. There is our lymph system, there is our chakra or energy system, there's our meridians, and they all work together. And I think that the thymus has a role to play in between those, the lymph that works with the blood and tissues of the body, and the energy and the meridians and the chakra system of the body. And I think that we can use the thymus and activate it and to be a better part in that process. Yeah, taking a deep breath. And I want you just to pull breath in to your body and focus on pulling breath into your heart. And as you breathe in, imagine energy coming into your body and expanding out to fill up every cell of your body. And if there's anything going on in your mind, in your energy, in your emotional body, and any of your cells that is not aligned with your highest good, I want you to eject that right now. And this is sometimes we have perceptions of who we are in our family, our identity in our family. This is who we are. And you often hear, I think it was great when The Secret came out, the documentary or movie years and years and years ago. I can't believe it's been this long now. And they would show examples of people wanting to change their lives, change their jobs, change their income. And you would hear examples of a mother or father, even a sibling or an aunt, uncle saying, no, 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 we're the Jones. Joneses don't do that. Or we're the Smiths. Smiths don't do that. Right? I remember growing up and I wanted to be, I would, I would love to. What would you guess that I would want to be when I was a kid? If you could pick anything out of the hat, what do you think? And I had two go-tos that I really, really wanted to be.
Veterinarian?
Ooh, good guess. Egyptologist.
Oh, okay.
Egyptologist was one.
Oh,
And
cool.
the second one was a parapsychologist.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep.
Really?
Those
When
were
you were a kid?
when I was a kid. When I was very young, like 4 or 5, I wanted to be a ballerina. But then that I had ballet classes, and
Mhm,
we were sitting down on the floor with our feet touching the bottom of our feet touching. So our knees were up like this, and
mhm.
the teacher, coach, came around and pushed everyone's knees down to the floor. And it was uncomfortable. And I didn't like that. So I stood up and walked out of the class.
Oh, okay.
I said, nope, you're not doing that. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting that I didn't do that in other areas of my life. But yeah, I don't think I ever went back to that because I felt that that was not a great way to coach the little kids. They were little tiny kids.
No.
Yeah. So yes, parapsychologist, essentially a ghost hunter, and
Yeah.
Egyptologist. I was enthralled by a young age. I don't know how with Egypt. Um, Very strange, but I would have dreams actually of Egypt. It was very interesting. But when I told my parents this, well, no, you can't do that. That's not a job. You don't do that. Your mother's a nurse. Your grandmother was a nurse. Her mother, before that, your great great grandmother was a nurse.
No.
You should be a nurse, right? We're told this. We're told this. Yeah. Yeah. So there are all of these perceptions, all of these conclusions, expectations around what you can do, who you should be. And sometimes our identity is still aligned, agreeing, it's buying, and it's choosing the AABCs of manifestation. Align, agree, buy, and choose. What are you aligning, agreeing, buying, and choosing that actually is not aligned with your greatest and highest good, with your dreams, with your goals, with your vision of your dream life, your dream business, your dream income? There may be a part of you that's still going, oh, I can't. I'd really love to have this business, or I'd really love to have these people come into my business, or I'd really love to have this size of classes, or et cetera, et cetera. I'd really love to have this house. I'd really love to move into this place or whatever this country. If you want to move, right? I really would love that, but there's a part of me that's resisting that, and that part of you that is resisting could be a number of things, but one of the big things that usually it is, and we can say big in this term because it is. It's a big energy. It's a big alignment. It's an agreement that we make with the people that we love. Okay, mom, I'll agree. I'll be what you want me to be. I'll be what you see me as. I'll be what you think I should be. I'll put my dreams on hold and I'll be what you think I should be. Deep breath. Anywhere that's sitting in your body, I want you to hold space for it. We're not going to go into shame or guilt or grief or anger or frustration or jealousy. A lot of those that I just mentioned, you'll find on the map of consciousness that Dr. David Hawkins created. And when I talk about the map of consciousness, I see it in my head as a pendulum chart. And it's kind of like a rainbow. And on the bottom left of the chart is shame, the vibration of shame. In the middle is courage. And on the far right side is usually enlightenment or authenticity. Shame is 20 megahertz. If you go to the grocery store and buy some fresh herbs, if you grab that handful of herbs is 15 megahertz. So we don't want to be at shame. We want to be way above shame. Courage is 200 megahertz. Anger is 150. So if we think about these things, these aligned agreements, not aligned, they're misaligned, but these alignments, these agreements, these choices that we've made, and we made them, we have to take ownership of those. If we take ownership of, okay, I aligned with someone else's point of view about who I should be, my identity, then we can change it. If we feel like something happened to us and we had no choice, then we don't feel like we can change it. So we want to take ownership of, okay, I saw that, or I heard that someone I love wanted me to be an identity that I didn't think that I was, but I aligned, agreed, bought, and chose that instead of what I want it to be. And that's okay. Holding space for that and not going to shame or guilt or grief or anger or frustration or jealousy, not going to those lower vibrations, we can go, oh, okay, oops, oopsie, what can I choose now? One of my favorite questions is, what is this creating for me? This created something for you. So you can look into that later. That can be your homework. You can do some journaling on that. What did that create for me? Look into that later. Right now, let's do some breathing. You can write that down. I see, Mary, you've always got your notebook there. That's awesome. Coming back to your thymus and taking some deep breaths in. And I want you to imagine that the breath is coming in your mouth and down. Think of your physical body. This is a physical thing. The breath comes in your mouth, down your trachea, and then into this cavern that we want to wake up of the thymus. So breathing in, pulling that breath in and down, waking up that thymus. And you can just picture, just imagine a butterfly and its wings are starting to open. Taking that breath again. And as you breathe, imagine that you're not just breathing air in, but you're breathing energy in as well. Breathing that energy in and pulling that energy down into your thymus. And imagine that energy now starts to pulsate out. And it gets bigger and bigger, and it starts filling up your whole body. With your breath comes in energy. And pulling that energy into your body. And imagine that that energy is sparkling, it's glowing. And that energy expands. And as it's filling up your body, it's touching each and every cell of your body, each and every molecule. And each and every cell, if that cell has aligned and agreed with any version of you that is not totally aligned with the identity that you would like to choose right now, ask for that cell to just eject that point of view, eject that story, eject that perception, that conclusion, that expectation. We can choose something else now. I remember the movie Hitch, where the main character said when he met that other character who turned out to be one of his closest friends, He said, you are a very fluid subject right now. Like, you think that your identity is written in stone. It's really not. You can be the identity of the person who already has your dream, your goal, your desire. And you can kind of leapfrog, right? Leapfrog from an identity in your mind of who you are right now. And then what is one step closer to your goal? What would that be? What identity, what would, if you were that person, what characteristics would you have? What emotion, what vibration, what energy would you sit in most of the time? If you're prone to, and I was for a long time, if you're prone to kind of, I call it now Eeyore syndrome, if you're kind of, oh, woe is me, nothing works out, what am I gonna do now? If you're kind of in that Eeyore, and I was there. Now, I was there because of energetic entanglement. There were a lot of people in my life who were like that. So you can just, one, say, if I have these perceptions of my identity, of the thoughts and the beliefs and the feelings that I go back to that are my home vibrations that feel good, they feel good because they're comfortable. They're like a coat you're putting back on. What if that coat isn't yours? So if you say, if that doesn't belong to me, if I've picked that up from someone that I love, I eject that from my body. That perception, that identity, that characteristic, that habitual emotion. Emotions are habitual. We know that when we have a thought and we have it often enough, we create a synapse in our brain. We know that thoughts are habitual, but energy and emotion is habitual as well. We get comfortable, just like driving to work the same way. One morning you drive to work and you get there and you go, whoa, I don't even remember how I got here. I don't remember the drive. You do it so frequently that you blank out and your body does it. Your body has memory, muscle memory, right? It's crazy. But your emotions, your energy is habitual as well. What'd you get? Did you get a story?
I had a thought. I've had a thought that wouldn't it be nice if I could just let my body sit down in front of the computer and habitually write a book?
Hey,
The way
hey,
that you
hey.
drive to work and
Yeah,
don't think about it.
yeah. Do you think there are any writers out there that were like that?
Yes,
So do you think that that is possible?
yes,
Do you think that that's possible for you to choose?
yes. I just
Hmm.
need to choose it.
Yeah.
I think Wayne Dwyer did that.
Oh, really? Dire
Yeah, because he says in one of his
interviews.
sessions or whatever lessons that he changed his whole life after an incident, went somewhere, sat down for 2 weeks, and wrote erroneous zones in 2 weeks.
Mm. Oh my goodness.
So to me, that is exactly that.
Yeah.
You just let
Well,
your
all my books are over there.
yes,
Emergence was like that. I think I told you that you were in directed energy there at that time then. Um, I thought that I needed to write the kinetic divination book, which is my healing methodology for anybody that doesn't know. Um, and I was pushing for like a year. Like the next book has to be Katie. It has to be Katie. I was kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then I went, whoa, this isn't happening. So let's hold space, be open for what does need to be written right now. And it was Emergence, and I wrote Emergence in 2 days after that. Now please don't go
yeah.
and buy the book because I have to rewrite that. The new version is coming out of that,
Oh, that's fine.
but it was, yeah, 2 days. So
Yeah,
can you
so
can you
same
choose
thing.
that? How easy would that
Yes.
be for you to choose?
I don't know if that would be easy to choose. for me at this point.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. But that's a good question. How easy this has been for me to choose.
Yeah. So, and for you and anybody listening, this is how we choose it. And I do have I do have a bunch of stuff coming. I'm going to reintroduce the pop-up classes, and there will be 3 different pop-up classes or series a month. And I may be um, hosting 1 call per each for a month or per month, and you can opt into those classes. Now, if you're in directed energy, you get access to one of those pop-up classes for free as a bonus. And if you can't show up, then you get the replay, obviously. But these pop-up classes, and there are certain questions that come up, I've noticed, that I ask myself whenever I want to change my life in some way, change into the identity of choosing, having, being, receiving, playing with the version of me that has the thing, the relationship, the income, the business, the clients, the car, the home that I desire. And please, when we want something, when we want to change into the identity that has it, there will be feedback that comes to you. Be open to this feedback. I haven't talked with this in a while. Be open to the feedback. I often hear, I'm in a lot of spiritual groups on Facebook, and I often hear people say, oh, the universe is testing me. The universe does not test you. When you are thinking of, I want $1,000, and your best friend gets $1,000 and you do not, that is not the universe testing you. That's your reticular activating system. This is a physical thing. It is your brain, it's your subconscious working with the reticular activating system and the universe all working together to show you, hey, there's a block there that's not allowing that $1,000 to come into you. So we're going to show you that there's resistance by giving it to you in a close way. Like, we'll deliver your desire. If you want a car or a bike, we're going to deliver the bike to the sidewalk, not to your front door. Because there's resistance there. We can't get it to your front door, or we can't put the car in your garage or the driveway, so we'll park it down the street because it's close. That's as close as we can get it. So the $1,000 went to your friend because that's as close as it could come. I have a client of mine couple years ago, two or 3 years ago. She wanted a certain amount of income to come in through her business, and money wasn't coming in, money wasn't coming in. So that specific amount had to keep increasing because, well, I need $2,000. The $2,000 didn't come, so things weren't getting paid. So now I need 4,000. Okay, shoot, now I need 6,000. It just kept, and she never received money through her business, but she received a lump sum, a very large sum, from a random source. Like, her neighbor gave her like $25,000. That's as close as the universe, her subconscious, her reticular activating system, could get money to her. So our desires will come to us. It may not be able to come into the area that we desire it, but pay attention to what is going on. It's not a test. It is the universe, your subconscious, your reticular activating system showing you, hey, this is only as close as we can get it. So I want a house, but I've been having, I think Mary knows this story. So I think it was a year and a half ago, I think, that I was focusing on, I want a house, I want a house, I want a house. I was doing all the works, I was implementing all the tools and strategies and processes. And I think it was 3 of my neighbors moved into a house. Hmm.
Mhm.
My neighbors got to move into a house, and my neighbor right next door is the most negative person I've ever met. Like, imagine Eeyore, but with anger issues. Like, that's the kind of person. And I'm like, here I am doing all the work. I'm doing all the work, and I'm being positive, and I think I'm a kind person, right? That is, and that's when it hit me upside the head of, this isn't a test, Jillian. This is, your subconscious. This is the universe showing you this is as close as I can get it. And that was a pretty, if one person you think, oh, that's a coincidence. If two people, you think that's a really strange coincidence. If three people, then that there's something going on that you gotta look at. So it's funny. It's funny how things play out in your reality. And I really do believe that our reality is a mirror. It reflects back to you the things that are residing inside. So when I'm thinking about my house, little answers will drop into my mind. And yeah, I work with this stuff, y'all. I'm an intuitive. I work as an intuitive business consultant. I tune into people's businesses and I kind of look around and I go, okay, so here's an area in your business that is devoid of energy. We need to fill that up. Or over here, you have that perception that belongs to, that's attached to this person over here, that you have to cut that, you have to get rid of it, right? So this is what I do, but I'm really not that special or unique, as in, I'm not an alien. Like, you all can do this too. I'm special and unique, but just as much as you are. So you guys can do this too. You guys can just be open to the awarenesses of how fun would it be to be the identity of the person who has that house. So let's play with that right now. What do you want to have? What do you want to create? Mary, if it's the book, like just sitting down and going, oh my God, this is so easy. This is such joy that this just pours right out of me. And bless him, Dr. Wayne Dyer is on the other side. You can help, living or not, live or unalive. We can tune into those people and we can ask for them to help us get there, have that thing. This is really fun. And I think it was Neville Goddard, I believe. I can't remember if it was Neville Goddard or Napoleon Hill. I think it was Neville Goddard who sat down at a table and had like a consult session with, 5, 6, 7 different people. And I think most of them were unalive. And one of them was Abraham Lincoln. And so I think it was Neville Goddard would sit down and talk to these counselors, he would call them, and they would give him feedback. And after a time of doing this again and again and again and again, the characters that he would meet with started to show their true characters of when they were alive in this reality, in this realm of Earth. So Abraham Lincoln would stand up from the table and link his hands behind his bed and he would pace and pace and pace and pace. And I guess that's what he did when he was alive. But Neville Goddard didn't know that. That was a personality trait. Like, crazy stuff that is so cool that we can tap into and use to connect with our version of the identity of who we are that's available to us to choose. It's available to us to step into, that has a thing that we desire. So take a minute right now and I want you to write down like 3 to 5 things that you would love to create in the next 3 months. So you're going to give yourself a really good window of time. In the next 3 months, I would love to have, I'd love to create, I'd love to be, I'd love to receive these 3 to 5 things.
Mm.
Got him.
Mhm.
All right. So if anybody on the replay, you can pause this if you need more time. So now I want you to look at that list, and I want you to. So if you have your list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to have a couple of columns. So here's your list, and you're going to have 2 columns beside your list. I want you to muscle test each one of these 5 items, 3 to 5 items that you, whatever you wrote down, of what would be your favorite? What would you love to have, do, be, create, receive right now? What would be your favorite?
Mm. Wow. I wouldn't have said that would be it, but that is.
So you're gonna tune into. I want you to tune into your body, your subconscious mind, and I want you to muscle test using the KDB. So the Kinetic Divination Board is a whiteboard that you have it in front of you. It's imaginary. You're just playing with it. You have 0% on the left, 100% on the right, and you're saying, body, what would be my favorite thing to have, to be, create, receive? You get percentages for each one. Hello, Marley. So what we are doing right now, Marley is joining us. What we're doing right now is we're tuning into and we're writing down 3 to 5 things that you would like to create, that you'd like to be, that you'd like to receive. 3 to 5 things that you'd like to create or receive in the next 3 months. And you're writing these down. So write down 3 to 5 things that you would love to create in the next 3 months. There is a way to turn off background noise. I don't know how. Maybe in the main screen. Maybe in audio. I still have that song in my head. I'm writing a song right now, everybody. And I'm just starting to get back into music and writing songs and lyrics. And I shared the melody with Mary at the beginning of the call, and it's still in my head. I don't know where that is.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it so much. Yeah, I was looking for a way, because there's a way to turn off background noise. So if there's a cat meowing, which I often have, or a dog's barking, or kids playing, then the mic doesn't pick it up. It's really interesting, but I don't know. We'll have to.
You often have a cat meowing?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Yeah.
You said you take care, you foster the kitties?
I have a foster kitty right now, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So your page will look like this. You have 3 to 5 things that you want to create, and then you have 2 columns next to it. So I want you first to muscle test each one of these and get a percentage of what would be your favorite thing to create, to be, to receive. That's in your first column. What would be your favorite thing? What would you really love to have, experience, be, receive, create? The next column is your alignment.
Oops, sorry, sweetie.
So shocking. Your favorite thing that you would love to receive, you may not be aligned with it. So that's what we're going to check in with. So you're going to, again, think of your KDB. This is your kinetic divination board out in front of you, 0% on the left, 100% on the right. And you're going to just ask your body, this is muscle testing. May seem very woo out there, it's so spiritual. No, this is muscle testing. It's what divination is. It's tuning into the wisdom of your body, the wisdom of your soul. That is what divination is. So tuning into the KDB and asking each one and getting a percentage of your alignment and writing down that percentage for your 3 to 5 things that you want to create in the next 3 months. And it may be shocking. It may shock you to gauge, to get the clarity of, oh, I'd really love to have this, but I'm more aligned with this.
Is it what if I write more than 5? Is it supposed to be like as precise or something? Or?
You can take time later and write down the things that you would really love to create. But I would narrow it down to 3 to 5 things, because if you're sitting there and you're telling your body, your mind, your subconscious, the universe, I want this and 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 this. And then when you're done that, I want this and this and this and this and this. Then the universe is going, I don't, it's too much, right? So clarity is really key when we're wanting to manifest and change our lives. So start with 3 to 5 things. And then, because we're doing your percentage, so you're going to tune into the percentage of your favorite thing that you want to create. If I can have this would just light up my life right now, right? We don't want to we'll talk about importance and significance in a minute, but you want to know your percentage of alignment with the things that you wrote down, and then you want to gauge if that's your favorite thing that you would choose. So check in and see if that is different. And then after you know that information, what is aligned, what's your top pick, then you're going to pick one thing. And yes, you can take some time and journal out, write down a bunch of things that you want to create, but then do this exercise and choose one thing. Choose one thing. And if you have trouble choosing one thing, do some work on that, right? Do some work on not nailing down one thing. If there is a perception, expectation, conclusion around, if I choose this one thing, that means I can't have the other things, I want you to do work on that. If I choose this one thing, that means I can't have all the rest of the things. If there's energy around that, I want you to ask if that belongs to other people and to eject any contributing perception, any contributing points of view from other people around that. Because that may be in the collective consciousness, or I think it's the collective unconsciousness. There are many rules, processes, points of view, programs, stories, beliefs that we automatically, when we are born into this body, we hook up to these beliefs. And it's very, very, there's a lot of heritage, culture that you're just automatically tapped into. I mean, we were talking about this at the beginning of the call. Oh, no, no, no. You're a Smith. Smiths don't do that, right? Where did Smith come from? Right? Smith, the last name, the surname of Smith came from the old days where people were a blacksmith. You're a smith. You can't be a farmer. You're a blacksmith, right? That's tied into the identity, right? We talked about that at the beginning of the call. So Marley, I suggest you go back to that. So yeah, tune into the identity. Tune into the perceptions. Tune into the points of view and the beliefs that may be surrounding all of these things. And that one thing that you want to create, and any points of view around, oh, I can't choose that one thing. And I did I think it was a 21-day adventure with Mike Dooley. He does them all the time. They're really fun. And I think it was choose the one thing. I think the adventure was the one thing. And a lot of us in this little course thing program had trouble choosing that one thing. And listen, after I chose it, I created it. I received it within 2 days. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can choose one number 2, right? So if you choose, if you really claim that one thing, you may get it within a few days.
The one thing I want the most seems to be on pretty much the lowest part of the availability list.
What do you mean availability? Based on who?
Like you said, like to see how muscle test how, like what percent you get.
Yep.
The things that I want the most seem to be on the lowest percentage.
Yeah. So your second column is your favorite, and your third column is your alignment. And I want you to eject anybody else's points of view around your alignment, right? And we're going to be doing work. I dropped my pen. We're going to be doing work and pulling in energy. So thinking about those percentages, thinking about your desires, the 3 to 5 things that you want to create, and choosing that one thing. You can do the 3 to 5 things later. We're focusing on the one thing that you would really love to be aligned with, your favorite. Draw a circle around that.
Okay, so once we pick the one we want the most, we draw a circle around it and...
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Hold on. You're choosing that one thing, your favorite thing that you want to create. You've drawn a circle around it. You've chosen it. And now I want you to focus on that thing. I want you to create a vision in your head of you being that, having that, doing that, receiving that, experiencing that. You're creating, this is an anchor vision. You're creating your anchor vision. And now being in that anchor vision, experiencing it, and it could be just a really short, usually when we think of a past event, we're not thinking of from the moment you were there to the moment you left. You're thinking of little bits of memories, little moments that had the most laughter, that had the most joy, that fulfilled you in some way. Those are the experiences, those are the moments that you want to fill into this little ball of energy, this anchor vision of you experiencing, you having, you doing, you being that one thing. And now I want you to claim, as you're in there, you're immersed, submerged in this memory, future memory. I want you to claim that if there's any contrasting emotions, beliefs, energy projections, expectations, conclusions, judgments, all the things from other people. You're ejecting those right now. Everyone else's energy is not allowed to touch this beautiful memory that you have. This is all for you. It's like Christmas morning and you wanted your favorite gift and you're opening the box and there it is. And you think, oh, it's all for me. This is all for me. And I get to choose it. Anything, any energy, any emotion that is bringing up, eject it, destroy and uncreate, release that emotional attachment to a trauma, to a trigger, to a memory of, that's wrong. I can't be this happy. Eject it. That belongs to somebody else. Only happy memories, only happy vibrations. And as you're immersing yourself in that future memory, that anchor vision, you need to come back to your physical body. Start again, tapping on that thymus gland. Taking a deep breath. And as you breathe, tapping on this thymus, holding that vision, holding that future memory, anchoring into that choice that you're making. As you're tapping on the thymus, you're going to pull in energy. And as you pull in energy and breath, I want you to imagine that this tingly vibration from your thymus is moving up into your throat. Keep breathing, pulling that energy and vibration up into your mouth. You have chakras in the front of your mouth and behind the back of your neck. Tapping your thymus, breathing in, pulling that tingly vibration up into your brow, your third eye, filling your third eye, filling your forehead, filling the cavern within your brain, within your skull, filling that with the vibration. Breathing deep, pulling that vibration up into your crown chakra. Keeping that vibration buzzing, holding that vision, holding that choice. Tapping your thymus, breathing in, now pulling energy down into your heart chakra. Filling the cavern of your heart, which is the most magnetic part of your body. Tapping your thymus, pulling breath in, pulling energy down into your solar plexus. Really paying attention to how that feels. What's the feeling in the solar plexus in relation to this vision that you're anchoring into? Tapping the thymus, pulling energy, pulling breath down into your sacral. Your solar plexus is just below your diaphragm. Your sacral is just below your belly button, your navel. Another deep breath in and pulling that vibration, that buzzing down into your root. What energy is there? And allow your breath to keep coming in, that vibration to keep flowing down into the root. So we have some resistance that I'm feeling with the root. That was the most resistance, but the solar plexus, there's some there as well. And these are the solar plexus deals with your identity. The root deals with your family. This is tribal. Deep breath. Just allowing those vibrations to come up, those visions, those perceptions, those judgments. That's okay. We want to hold space. Just now rest your arms in your lap, and I want you just to sit in this, marinate in this energy, marinate in this emotion, in this choice. Remember, there are the AABCs of manifesting or materialization. It is the align, this is the agree, this is buy, and is choose. You want to look into what you are aligning, agreeing, buying, and choosing in regards to this choice. And if there's anybody else's perceptions, points of view, energy, emotions surrounding this, I want you just to release that right now. Coming back to your body, feeling that buzzing energy from crown to root. If there's any stories in any of your chakras, just say, okay, hold on. This moment is for me right now. You can have your moment. This feeling, this vibration, this alignment is for me right now. We can sit together in a few minutes and you can tell me all the stories if you want. But right now, this is for me. Come back to that anchor vision. The anchor vision of you experiencing your choice, your desire. You're anchoring into that choice. And now I want you to turn up the volume of that choice, that experience, that anchor vision. Turn up the volume. What are you hearing? What are you experiencing? Are these your favorite people saying, hey, congrats, I heard that you did this, or you received this, or you got whatever it is you are choosing to create? Is it a celebration in some way? Is it you on the phone with your best friend and you said, guess what? This happened. And your best friend's like, oh, that's so amazing. You wanted that so much. Congratulations. There's only joy. There's only celebration. Turn that up. Now I want you to turn up the colors. Turn up the clarity. Turn up the vibrancy. And just for a moment before we come out of this, I want you to tune into the fact of, usually there's two ways that we can really anchor into this on a deeper level. And those two things are asking the question, do I need internal validation to make this a reality? And you can check in with your KDB, you can check in with a percentage. I need internal validation of this, and get your percentage. And this is why the KDB, kinetic divination, is so powerful, because with muscle testing, you get a yes or a no. So if you get, I need internal validation, and you're only muscle testing yes or no, you'll probably get a yes. You need internal validation, of course. I'm going to get a percentage. I need internal validation for me to really achieve my goal. Now I want you to check in with, I need external validation. So this is the difference of kinetic divination with anything else. With muscle testing, or with things that say this is light or this is heavy, that's usually a yes or a no. We usually need internal and external validation, but usually we're wired to want, to desire something, one of those, more than the other. So we may think that we need internal validation to create our dream, our goal, to materialize what we're choosing. But if you're like me, I'm at Cancer. My sun sign is Cancer. We're very home body oriented. We're very family oriented. So I really need external validation. The people that are closest to me, their perception of me, of my identity, of my choices, of my experiences matter to me. Even though I've had a lot of trauma with the people that I love. Most of us have, right? I still desire their validation of my choices. So get that percentage. I need internal validation of this choice. I need external validation of this choice. Get your percentages. And this isn't to prove right or wrong. This isn't to judge. This isn't to get frustrated with yourself. This is knowledge. This is feedback. And knowledge is power. So if you know that, oh, I would do better with creating this choice if I had external validation, you can then use segment intending. You can then use creative visualization. You can then use kinetic divination, reality transurfing, EFT, possibly Reiki. Use a modality of your choice to start building up and running energy into whichever is highest, the internal validation or the external validation. Just pretend. So if it's external validation is a higher percentage, then run more energy to, run more visuals to, experiences where you see yourself having that desire, that choice, and you see other people, your people, saying to you, hey, congrats, you did this, you got this, you received this. It's how you can use it to your advantage. Okay, thanking your body right now, thanking your energy, coming back to your breath, coming back to your heart chakra, breathing in, pulling energy into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. And sharing if you feel so inclined. I'd love to hear how that experience was.
I don't know if I'm muted. No,
You're good.
I'm good?
You're
Okay.
good.
I just have to say that the speed dial book, I was like 100%. That's one of my favorites. And that came out 30% alignment.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the published book, which I am absolutely positive will be published within the next 60 days. That was 100% and 90% alignment.
Yay.
Then I put in the lottery win.
Yeah.
And that was 100%. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And that was 60%.
Okay.
Then the seminar for kids was really aligned. 90% favorite and 82% for alignment.
Yay.
But the YouTube is the one that I focused on during the manifestation, the Tea with Mary, and it was 75% my favorite, but it was 100% aligned.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so the validation was me on the stage with the microphone and the tea, and I had invited some out of the people that were there. Somebody got invited up onto the stage to have tea with me, and sit with me and talk. And then at the end of it, everyone was clapping and saying, "Oh, it's so wonderful! Oh, thank you for sharing." So that was my experience.
Yay. I love it. Really good. And did you get a higher, was it internal validation or external validation? If
It
you
was internal validation.
good.
It was 90% and external was 10. And
Ooh,
during that buzzing thing, my whole body was buzzing.
yeah.
It was just like bees, like not, yeah, just
Yeah.
buzzing.
Yeah, you are really quick. Whenever there's any visualization that I share with you, you pick it up so quick. And that's one of your superpowers. So I would use that whenever you're wanting to manifest anything. You know, you have the dynamic dynamic intention. I'm like, what's my book? I wrote a book called Dynamic Intention. Does have to be updated a little bit, but that book is really powerful because it does show you what your superpower is in manifesting, and it allows you to muscle test. If I did this visualization 3 times a day for 1 minute each, would that create my desire in 3 months or 1 month or 10 days, right? That's your superpower, is visualizing.
Mhm. Yep.
So I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited. I'm excited to see how quickly that materializes for you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yay.
Thank you.
Marley, did you have any experiences you wanted to share?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I just have to work a bunch on the stuff. I guess getting more into alignment with the stuff. But
Mm,
yeah, it seemed that I needed more internal than external.
good.
Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's basically it.
Good. And remember when we were doing the buzzing and pulling that energy down, I'm not sure who it was. There was or it could be somebody on the replay, y'all. Energy doesn't go by a stopwatch or a calendar.
Yeah, I felt a lot of stuff. There was yeah, I don't want to interrupt, but
Yeah.
I want to hear what you had to say. But I felt some strangeness in the solar plexus. I sometimes I get like these knots in there.
Mm, yeah.
And then when you said something about the family, the root chakra, I was like, whew. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. And a lot of
but
us have that because we're very
what were you
we're
gonna
very
say?
tribal. It is important, we're animals. So as
Hmm.
we are born, it is important for us to survive. That is our key focus. And I lived in South Korea for 2 years, and they have a celebration whenever a baby is born. They don't really celebrate when the baby's born. They celebrate at 100 days.
Wow.
There's an a celebration called the 100-day celebration. And because in the old days, it was lucky if a baby lived past 100 days. So when a
Is
baby
that like
lives to 100
4 years
days
old?
in South Korea, they have a celebration. So this is survival, is our root chakra. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of it was like hard. There was this just like Fort Knox around the root chakra. So I'm not sure who that belongs to,
Huh.
but it was really, really rock hard. So I would,
I mean, it could have been. It could have. I don't want to claim that at all, but I was like, I felt. I was when you went down there. I was like, whew, like, I was like,
yeah, it could have
oh
been
my
then. Could have been.
God. Without,
So do exercises. You do energy work.
yeah,
Do exercises. Do as much as you can for the root chakra, and be really patient. Even if you could, I don't know if you have red underwear, if you have
yeah.
red fabric, wear red underwear. Pull
Red, I
in.
do have one.
Good, good, good. And it may seem funny to people who aren't doing, don't do energy work or Reiki in a regular
It's
basis,
not
but
funny, but some people forget to remember to do
true,
that.
true. If you have
But
an
we don't,
exercise
right?
ball or
I
like,
used to.
okay, they're like at the dollars, I think you can get them at some dollar stores. Like they're very, very inexpensive.
Hmm.
Even sitting on your bed, I have a rebounder, so I have a mini trampoline. So this is really good.
I have one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that
So
thing.
so like put your red undies on, sit. Even if you have red fabric,
Yeah,
put
yeah,
red fabric on the mini trampoline, sit. Put your
yeah.
butt on the trampoline and really turn your pelvis. So, because our hips and our pelvis is usually misaligned, right?
Hmm.
Turn your pelvis so that your tailbone is sitting down and touching, you know,
Hmm.
the undies, touching the red fabric, and bounce on the rebounder. And as you're bouncing, picture energy flowing in as you're breathing. Breathe in, flow in energy, breathe out, exhale, and release energy. and eject, because we're over 100 days, y'all. Right? So eject anybody's energy from your root chakra.
Oh, so it could be anybody's energy.
Oh
right?
my goodness.
Not
Yep.
just family, but
Yeah, well, so our root chakra begins forming at 3 months in vitro. So we're in our mama's womb,
yeah.
and we're 3 months past conception, and our root chakra starts to form. From then until we celebrate our 1 year birthday, that's when our root chakra is forming the most. And within that time, we're sucking in energy from our mama and from everybody around her. So if you know a little bit about my story, I'm adopted.
Mm-hmm.
I had 6 caregivers by the time I was 6 months old. So I was given to somebody, and I'm like, Mommy, I'll suck in your energy so that I survive. And then that person went, nope. It's a throwback. I'm just kidding. I've done a lot of work on this. And then that person gives me to another caregiver. And then that caregiver is like, Coochie, you're so cute. But it's a no for me. And then that caregiver. So I'm sucking up energy. I'm attaching myself to all of these different people. 6 different caregivers by the time I was 6 months old, right? We never ever detach that energy. So a lot of earlier on the call, I was talking about Eeyore syndrome. That Eeyore syndrome is my biological mother, because I know her now. We connected. She is, if there was a dictionary of terms, her picture would be detailing Eeyore syndrome. Like, she is Eeyore syndrome. And that I sat in that for many, many decades. Oh, woe is me, the sky is falling. That is my biological mother. And I took on that trait. That's not hereditary. I took on that trait because of the emotional and the energetic attachment to her for the 3 months that I was in her life, because she had me for 3 months before she gave me up for adoption. But she passed me off to her sister to take care of, because she wanted to go and try to win back my father. TMI. But there's all of these different people in your life as a child. Hopefully they were all good. That's, I don't want to say it's a sad story. It's a story. It's my story of my childhood, and it made me who I am today. And it's part of the reason why I have kinetic divination. Kinetic divination would not be born into this world, I believe, if I hadn't have gone through that BS. So it is a BS story. It's sad, but
you used it as a way to help others and yourself. So you alchemized it. It's now a story. It's not just here's a sad story.
Yeah.
That's
and 5 years ago, if I had been sitting here telling y'all about this, I'd be crying. I'd be very emotional. And there's no more emotion. There is, I can't say, there's now happy emotion. It's not a negative. So
yeah, it's totally fine to feel emotion, and now you're using it in a way that helps you feel happy, which is good.
So yeah, and all that stuff usually sits in the root.
Yeah,
all of those experiences.
yeah,
So
I
you can
wondering why I was feeling upset, and I was like, oh, it didn't make sense necessarily. So
yeah. And grab a journal. Oops. Okay. Grab a journal and sit down on the trampoline and bounce. And everybody else can do this too, because we often have a lot of stuff connected with the root chakra. So grab a journal, sit on red, anything red, even like this is a pink, but that's okay. That would work. And really breathe as you're bouncing on the trampoline, breathe into your root chakra and allow your root chakra to just, as you exhale, release any attachment. I eject all outside energy. I eject my mom's energy. I eject my dad's energy. I eject, this person and this person and this person. Just start ejecting. And if you guys would be so kind, I would love for you to share your favorite takeaway from this call. You can message me if you want it to be private. You can also come to my Facebook profile page, my main page, and you can post. You can share a post and say, this is what I got out of this call. It helps me to know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right track. I'm helping people. It's my mission in life. And it also allows other people to go, oh, hey, what is that? I'd like to maybe join and get some of these tools and change my life so that I can have the things that I
Trust me,
desire to
I
have.
talk about you to my friends all the time. I'm like,
Aw.
you have to hear this thing that I learned, and they're like, whoa, what's that? And I tell all my friends about you.
Aw. Thank
But
you
I
so
will. I'm gonna make more notes on your page for you because you're really awesome. Thank
Oh,
you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing up and being here. Don't forget Sunday's call is free as well. And also, Marley, you weren't here. I'm starting to do pop-up classes. Those will be coming up soon. So keep your eyes open for that.
All right. I'm so thankful for all the stuff that you've been sharing with us. Thank you so much, dear.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, Mary, for being here.
Thank you for
Love you
being
guys
here.
so much.
I love you. Okay, have a great day. Bye.
You
Bye.
too. Bye, guys.